is Courtney and you are joining me for another video. Today we are checking out my August TBR. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. Check out the content on my channel to see if this is a place you'd like to subscribe to. If you're returning, thanks so much for coming back. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for post notifications. And if you're interested, become a member on the channel. You get a few extra perks, including getting to see videos early, and we have a book club and a Discord going on. This month for for August, we are picking our next read. So we have a members only poll up right now. If you're a member, you can participate. And then in July, we read Made for Each Other by Lynn Painter. So it is a good time over there. So as we end July, I would like to think about the books that I'm reading in August. For a while, I wasn't much of a TBR girl, but now I'm deep into it. I think I've done one every month. So August to me signifies the end of summer. I am a September baby, and so for me, September is fall, and I'm early September. I'm September 3rd, and I still consider myself a fall birthday. Don't fight me in the comments about it. You're not going to change my mind. And so August is like the last hurrah for me for summer. Now, I am not a summer girl. I'm very much crisp fall into winter. I love it cold. I hate hot heat. I'm in the Midwest, so not only do we get the heat, but the humidity. And I just despise it. Today I was out running errands, and by about the third errand, I was about done. I'm just not into it. So I'm excited to wrap up summer, but even more excited to spend August wrapping up books that I have DNF'd this summer. So I decided to pick this theme because a lot of the books that I read or wanted to read this summer were specific for this time of year, or like they symbolize something that I want to read. And so I am looking forward to knocking down this list a bit and starting off the fall with a fresh start, new books. Let's get into cozy season. Let's get into pumpkins and Christmas and all the things. So I'm looking to finish up all of these lingering books that I've had since around May until now. Okay, the first book that I would like to finish would be Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. I actually just picked up this book. You might have seen it in my weekly wrap-ups, and I started it a little bit last week and this week, and I'm already kind of like, I can't get my mind focused on it. I am excited to read it. This is Julie Soto's first attempt at a romantasy. This book follows Bryony, and she has, it's magical, like they all have magical powers, and she is going to be taken and sold into this other sort of kingdom, and we go from there. So what appealed to me about this was I like Julie Soto as a writer, and her first attempt at fantasy or romantasy, I wanted to be involved. I have heard some things about this book. I don't think it's listed as dark fantasy or dark romance, but I know there is some non-consensual trigger warnings. There is some slavery trigger warnings, and I'm interested to see how I do about those. Trigger warnings don't really bother me. If I don't like something, I'll either skip it or just move on. But I'm interested to see how this goes. This book has 464 pages. I think I'm on page like 30 or 40. I have a physical copy and a digital copy, and so I'm hoping to finish this book up. I really don't want to bring this into the fall, and I guess I could say that about all of these books. That's why I'm trying to finish them, but this one very much seems like I was waiting for the summer to finish it. Okay, so the next book that I am in the middle of is That Summer by Jennifer Weiner. I don't know how we're saying it. And this book I started because I am in my lit fic era, and so I'm really enjoying all of the picks like that. This one follows Daisy, and Daisy is just a stay-at-home, not just, but she's a stay-at-home mom in Philadelphia, living in the suburbs, carpool, you know, pickup, drop-offs, husband, all of the things that can be pretty mundane after a while. And her life starts to get a little bit more exciting when she starts getting emails from somebody accidentally that's sent to somebody named Diana. They have similar email addresses, and all of these emails are about all of the meetings that Diana leads and sophisticated, glamorous life as a single woman. And so she starts kind of thinking about this life. And so at some point they meet, and there's a reason that they have been having this correspondence. And so I'm just interested to see what that looks like. And again, I love a lit fic. I love when it's family involved or something similar to this, and so I'm looking forward to finishing that book. And the only reason I think I stopped this book, because I think I should share why I stopped them throughout this video. The only reason I stopped this book was because I had some other books that were needing to get done first. And I've kind of been in a romancy space, which I haven't been lately, and so I did put a pause to this. Also, I've had quite a few NetGalleys that I've been trying to get through, and so that required me to put this on pause. Okay, another book that I started this summer that I want to get wrapped up is Heavenly Bodies by Imani Iru. This book has 4 stars on Goodreads, and I heard really great things about it, which is why I originally wanted to pick it up. This book follows our main character, Alara, and we are set in a magical world where everything's guided by the stars, and so we have like this glossary at the beginning of all the stars and what they mean. And in this book, Alara is forced to go to sort of like the enemy kingdom and get trained by this prince that she despises. And eventually they're going to fall in love. And so we have enemies to lover and that romanticy aspect. Like I said, I heard really good things about it. And I paused it because I couldn't get any traction on it. It was almost like I was reading through mud. You know, we were like kind of reading the words, but every page takes so long. And so I wanted to just refresh and get going on finishing this. I'm only like 22 pages in, so I have quite a bit to do. It's also a very long book. What was the other long book I read? Because I was going to read it in June, but then I ended up reading a different romantasy book that I actually really loved, but so I wasn't able to finish Heavenly Bodies because they're about the same length. But yeah, that is Heavenly Bodies that I want to finish. I think it's gonna be really good. Like I said, I've heard great things about it. Looking forward to picking that back up. Okay, the next book I want to read has been on my list literally all summer. It's in Kindle Limited. It is Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. Megan Quinn writes really cute, smart, witty books. They are very spicy though, so if that's not your jam, just know they are very spicy. This book, as I reread the synopsis, sounds even better than I remembered, and so like I'm really excited to get going on this one. This book follows Scotty Price. She just started a new job and there's nothing but guys there, so she's excited, thinking it's going to be like a bachelor sort of dating pool, and she finds out that they're all married, and this is sort of the culture. So she says that she has a husband, and somebody notices that she's not wearing her wedding ring, so she makes up a story that her husband and her are having rough times. So her boss actually sets her and the make-believe husband up to see one of the best marriage counselors in the world. And so Scotty goes to her friend for help, who sets her up with his brother, who is an improv actor, and they improv this fake troubled marriage and inadvertently end up on an 8-day couples retreat to fix their marriage. And so this just sounds so cute. I mean, you know exactly where it's going, but I could see so many witty elements of this that I just can't wait to dig in. So I really think I'm going to try to start this a little bit. I'm actually going on vacation this upcoming week, and so I might want to read this while I'm on vacation because it sounds really, really good. Okay, the next book I started this summer and I was really interested in was City of Nightbirds. This book follows a ballerina who's coming back from an injury. She's going back to St. Petersburg after 2 years of not being there. Her name's Natalia, and she is now having to face some of the things she ran away from, both the career that was hard on her and her body and her mentality, her mom, and her father who was gone, as well as 2 dancers that led to her downfall. So it sounds like there's 2 guys. One was the love of her life and really transformed her. The other was more of a dark genius, is how they describe it. And so I started this book and I've gotten to the part where Natalia is being offered to go back on stage and perform, and she has to decide what she wants to do. I stopped this book because I didn't know where it was going. And I was like, okay, like this is okay. I'm not really into the Russian ballet world, and that's what this book is about. But I don't want to leave it unread, and so I think I'm going to obviously continue with it. But this is low on the list of the TBR. There's others I want to read before it, but I hope to finish it by the end of August. The next book that I started that I want to finish is called Book People. This book is super cute, and I think I paused it because for some reason I hit a sprint of books that were all like book people working in bookstores, romance thing, and so I needed a pause, but this is just that. We're following Kate and Sebastian. They work at opposing bookstores. They're not necessarily rivals in the sense that they're competing for anything. They just have different tastes and different modes of life. Kate is more free and Sebastian's very type A, but they end up working together on the town's literary festival, and during that time they fall for each other as any romance would. So this book includes forced proximity, which I'm always a fan of, and books, so you can't go wrong there. But I definitely want to read this. I think I know I started it. I don't know how far I am into it, but it's not a book where I need to have a whole bunch of backstory. I can jump in wherever I left off, but it's not too long of a book either, so I'm looking forward to checking that one out. Okay, the next book that I am looking forward to read is one that you might be surprised about because it has a lot of positive stuff about it, but I was not loving it, and that is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. This book follows two writers who are competing for the cover story of a woman who has had this larger than life history, and they're sort of writing a memoir for her. And so as they are competing for this spot, they are actually staying in the same hotel and start leaning into working with one another. I don't know. Okay, so I got about 150 pages in. And I kind of soft DNF'd it because it was not giving Emily Henry. And then I realized Emily Henry's books are always kind of mid, so like I get excited for them to come out, but I don't think I rated one super, super high. I did like Funny Story, and I did like, get that out. I did like Funny Story, and I did like Happy Place, but nothing has been like 5-star. It's just like one of those authors that I continually buy, but this book is really off the beaten path of her normal style of writing, and I just don't know how I feel about it. And so I do, and I will finish it, but it just did not hit for me. Now this has 4 stars on Goodreads, so some people are loving it, but I truly prefer just her regular books that she's had in the past. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, next up, I found on my Kindle, I don't even know when I got it, the book The Perfect Rom-Com. This book is by Melissa Ferguson. I believe I read stuff by her before. This is a contemporary romance, and it follows Bryony, another Bryony. That's so weird. She's an aspiring author, and she's trying to write something that's really impactful. It's going to bring awareness to this organization that her grandmother works at and teaches at. But she tries to pitch the idea, it gets shot down. However, she does get offered by the agent to be a ghostwriter for an up-and-coming writer, Amelia Benedict. Well, Amelia Benedict becomes really hot because of Bryony's writing, and she strikes a deal with a literary agent that if the agent shops her book, she will be the ghostwriter. And so obviously they're gonna be spending time together, love's gonna erupt, and it's gonna be all the warm feels. And so that one looks good, and I totally forgot that I had that book, so this is not one that I've DNF'd or even started. It's just one that I had picked up, and now I'm excited to read. Okay, the next book that I'm looking forward to finishing is Like Mother by Susan Rieger. And this book is a literary fiction book that follows 3 generations of women in a family, and it's my favorite type of lit fic, right? We have family drama, we're going over a period of time, we have 3 generations of stories, lies, secrets. I started it probably in May, and I don't even remember why I put it down, but it's exactly the type of literary fiction that I like, and so I think this will be great this month as I am knocking through some of these romances. The last book that I would like to read is Into the Woods by Jenny Holiday. This is a book that I soft DNF'd a while ago. I'm about 50% in. This follows Teddy and Gretchen, and they are both in sort of not midlife crisis, but a stopping point in their life where they have time in the summer to go to this like adult arts camp, and they start clashing from there. It's enemies to lovers. What I didn't like, because I believe I'm like 54% into it, so that might be the first one I try to finish. What I didn't like is like I was 54% in and nothing had happened, and so I'm just wanting it to pick up a little bit. I don't love a slow burn at all, and this was just not really moving. So those are the books that I have on my August TBR. We'll see how it goes. It's always an adventure, right? A pile of possibilities of things that I could read. But like I said, I really want to wipe out my sort of unread books on the Kindle and get focused for fall and winter. And so this is the best way to do it. If you have suggestions on how to get through these books or the order to get through them, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you've read any of them or if you might read any of them coming up in the near future. As always, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.